The attitudes that y'all are expressing towards EJ Johnson, i.e. the transphobia, is the same transphobia that not only trans women experience, but also cishet black women experience because, especially if they're deemed too masculine or too masculine presenting. We just saw that lady that was crying because somebody was saying that she looked like Miss Netta. We just saw last year where a woman was attacked, a black cisgendered, biological, as y'all like to say, woman was attacked or arrested or something like that because someone thought that she was, quote unquote, a man. And I hate how you gay people, you gay men, are coming on here and acting like the only way a straight man could be attracted to somebody like EJ would be that they have to be DL. When most times, when you're looking at someone, regardless of how masculine and feminine you may think their phenotype in their face is, and regardless of whatever genitals y'all may be thinking up in y'all head, because I know that's what y'all thinking and y'all looking at height, but I got something for the height too. That man does not look at EJ and be like, EJ got a whatever, and that's not attractive to me. They see EJ, they see how EJ presents. EJ does not give man to me. When we think about these social constructs and I always say what a man is, what a man's supposed to act like, EJ does not give that at all. And also, while I'm on that note, EJ shouldn't be forced to identify as anything. Weren't y'all just on here talking about some, we need to all forget the labels, but now y'all are trying to force EJ to identify as something. Y'all are trying to force EJ into whatever label to make y'all feel comfortable. But I thought it was, everybody forget the labels, F the labels. But then when it comes to EJ, now it's a problem. Now the height thing, and y'all acting like height, femininity can't be present in someone that is tall. Because EJ is so tall, how could a straight man ever? I love my WNBA girls down. But let's be really real. Some of those women present very masculinely. They have very deep voices just because of their anatomy and genetics. They just have deep voices, and some of them present extremely masculinely. So much so that if you didn't know, if they didn't tell you, you would assume that they were cisgendered men. And straight, quote unquote, straight men would still find a way to be attracted to those people as well. Not saying that they are comparable to EJ, because if you're being real, EJ presents more femininely than a butch lesbian woman over here. But even then, y'all can justify straight men's attraction to them, and even straight men will justify their attraction to butch, lesbian, very tall women by like, they still they can always come back over here and, but they still a woman, So it's not a height thing. And it's not even completely how masculine or feminine you present sometimes. It's just whatever is perceived as feminine, or really whatever is deemed socially acceptable that they may be attracted to. And I don't appreciate the gay man coming on here and saying that the only type of person that could be attracted to EJ is a DL.
All of a sudden, sexuality isn't a spectrum anymore.
That's not the case. I, myself, y'all may look at me and think whatever. Y'all can think whatever y'all want to think. I have had relations with men that did not want to see my nether regions. They just wanted to experience certain things. They didn't want no hair on my face. They didn't want no hair on my body. And they still walk through the world very straightly. Y'all may say they were DL, And part of me may think some of them were DL as well. But for you to have such an aversion to a particular body part and want all the things that are traditionally associated with women, who am I to say that you aren't attracted to what you deem as a woman? And who is me to say that you're not straight? And when I say this, I don't think y'all understand how particular they were. Very, very particular. This wasn't no type of I'm attracted to trans women, like I'm trans women attracted. This wasn't no this that they were like very attracted to women, and they wanted to force me to try to fit a whatever mold that I wasn't and that I didn't identify. But they wanted me to do just for the means of this encounter, for them to get from point A to point B and still keep the things. Because the things would, if I wasn't presenting a certain way or if I had a little scruff, it would genuinely affect the situation. And I've experienced this in real life, real time. I've experienced it. And then a lot of people are trying to act like EJ is just so delusional. And somebody that has recently came out and told people publicly that I'm non-binary. Being in a bigger body, whether that be tall and perceivably overweight, or just tall, or just overweight, and feminine, and black, the already limited options that you would have had as a cis gay man, or cis masculine gay man, or just whatever, they have been shrunk down to this. And then if you weed out the chubby chasers and you weed out the weirdos and stuff, it's even smaller. And I can definitely see a world where a straight man could have more care, more intention for, more love for a person like EJ over a queer man, over a gay man, a cis gay man. I can see that world. I can see it so clearly. And just overall, back to the gender expression part, y'all that are calling EJ bricky and all these things, that doesn't halt how EJ presents. That doesn't halt how they talk, how they dress, how they move through the world, and all the things. So I say all this to say, BFFR, if you haven't experienced certain things to be able to truly comprehensively talk on them, you don't have the full story. If your mindset is riddled with transphobia and queerphobia, you don't have the full capacity to really speak on a person like EJ and give it justice. If you are cis and heterosexual, well, cisgender and heterosexual, and you haven't lived on that flip side, you haven't lived on the LGBTQ side and experienced some of the men that we have experienced, you don't have the complete story. So I say all this to say, y'all can say that EJ is bitchy. Y'all can say that EJ could never compare to a woman or whatever. But at the end of the day, what reason does she have to lie for? She's there. She's in the rooms. She's looking at these men. She's looking at a man try to hook up with her, and then go try to hook up with her sister. That's the world EJ lives in. Let's stop trying to act dense, and let's stop trying to judge and try to cut something off, rather than looking at all the possibilities here. Because as a non-binary person, feminine, I ain't in my drags right now. I know I know when you're kind of in that in between, you're not necessarily a trans woman. You don't present that way, but you can be very high femme. But you also don't necessarily identify with manness or manhood. And the world treats you a certain way. And especially men treat you a certain way. Child, I don't know what to say.